All right, Robert Drury back again. We are going to try to get in the game tonight. It's going to be a 10-minute game, and hopefully we can get a a hippo type of setup going. But with that said, let's get started. Okay, we've got a 1967 rated player. I'm playing the black pieces, and he starts off with D4. We go G6, Bishop G2. We're going with our D6. And let's see. Okay, he's going H3 right off the bat. All right, we'll go E6, get our two pawns in the center. We'll go ahead and bring our bishop E7, or I'm sorry, knight to E7. Well, right now he's got a C4 pawn out there, and he brings the bishop out. Okay, let's bring our other knight to D7. He's got a three-pawn center. We continue with our setup. We will go B6. Puts his bishop on E3. We'll continue with our setup. Okay, he's castling. Okay. I'm going to put a pawn on H6 to start with, just to keep our square under control there, our G5 square. Also will give us the ability to push G6 to G5 if we want. We're going to ignore that for a moment and just, well, on second thoughts, I was going to go with A3, but if I remember correctly, you don't really want to push that just yet when they have a pawn on C4. I'll have to double check that and see how correct that is. I'm looking at the center, and he's got this pawn defended once, this pawn defended twice. Okay, if I bring my knight around to attack this pawn, he can push. And then if he pushes, I can come here. And if he trades off, he'll trade a knight. Take back with my other knight, trades a bishop. And let's see, what if he just pushes? Tell you what, we'll go down that route. I'll just go ahead and kick this bishop and see if I can get, well, nah, let's go with the first thought process. Let's see, he's got to find a way to defend D4. We'll see how he does it. Like I said, if he pushes to D5, I'm gonna just swing the knight over to. We'll swing the knight over to the center of the board on E5. Okay. He's not biting on anything. All right, let's exchange the knight, and now we got an option. We can push. We can push there. We have the potential of, yeah. Let's push. I may end up pushing on F5 also. All right, let's push F5. He takes, I take back. Now we're threatening to trap the bishop. And he's threatening just to check, put a check on us. Oh, let's see what we miss. Yeah, he's got his own plans. Well, I can push and kind of lock everything up, or I can bring my queen out. Let's bring my queen out and see if we can put a little pressure on his bishop. We are definitely in a different type of Hippo setup. I can honestly say this is it's new. It's definitely a new setup. As all these hippos tend to be like new setups. All right, I honestly don't want them to take. Then I end up with a bishop there, but this guy is in trouble. All right, let's just push. Yeah, can't say I didn't see that coming. All right, looks like we're going to get into an end game pretty quick, or do I need to? Oh. So I need to trade. I could just bring my bishop around, or my knight around there, then come over here. He can just snap it off. Let's give him the opportunity. I want to keep this. I don't want to keep this knight out of here. I wouldn't mind trading here, and if I have to, we'll trade the queens out. Nah, he's just gonna go. We'll let him shoot down the board. Let him shoot down the board. I've got my rook on a semi-open file. I'm fixing to move my king out of the way. If he pushes here, he didn't push there. He went the other way. Does that just lose a pawn? Let's go this route. I'm anticipating him to move this piece there. It doesn't matter. I've got them protected. All right, let's get out of the way of any checks. Right now, I'm threatening this, so he doesn't have time to swing and try to create problems. He's got to move his king, or he's got to protect the h3 pawn. All right, checking my time. I'm down 2.5 minutes. This guy's isolated. I've got a passed pawn here. I can always put a piece here. Slide my rook over my second rook to h8. Oh, he he did move. Once again, Robert. Can I take? Then check. Then check. His escape route is this way. Yeah. Let's do it. Find out what's going on here. Let's see. I've either miscalculated or I have a good move. We'll find out real shortly which it is. Doesn't have any checks. He can't move the bishop to protect, or he drops his queen. Let's see. They say the hippo's passive. I suppose it can be passive, and it can be rather exciting if either side blunders. And we'll find out if I miscalculate. Let's go back over it. If he goes here, I'm just swinging my other rook to g8 for check. He's got no choice but to go here or here. Either one's mate. So he can't take. He can't take. He's thinking. He's definitely thinking, trying to figure a way out. Like I said, for the hippo, I played at the chess club. People really talk about it passive. I was playing it online last week in a tournament over on Lee Chess, and against some friends from the chess club. And one of the comments was, it being a passive defense. And it's considered a passive defense, but it has some bite to it. I found out at the club, and now granted, none of us are grandmasters or international masters or national masters. And so it's a little more challenging for players at our level to find some of the themes in it. Be quite honest, I go back and okay, White abandoned the game. That is technically a win. Let's do a game review and find out where we're at with our analysis. I really don't want to push the game review because then I get the computer talking. Okay, so got a queen's pawn opening. Okay, he's going with a it's a d4 c4. I know exactly was going for a queen's gambit type of line. I'm not real good with the different lines and everything. I know my lines. I really don't know the ones I don't play. Okay, we're going through the opening moves. We're just doing basic opening moves right now. He's trying to get his bishop active. That's knights taking control. It's typical thought process as far as people who play against the hippo, get their pieces out. They follow general principles. The hippo, I'm just sitting back waiting to see what his setup is to where I have to see where I have to attack. He goes e4, 3-pawn center. I'm going b6, and I'm just typical setup, and I don't know if you can see the evaluation bar, but the computer just always likes white, or whichever side's not playing the Hippo. Okay, he castled. We're still searching for moves. At this point, I played h6. I just want to keep this square under control. When I say this square, it's h6. I want to keep the h6 square under control, which is what I do. And this is typical. People line their queen and bishop up, and then they will go for this pawn. So when you see that, you can't castle. You have to clarify this position before you castle. So what I did is, now another way you can do it is a lot of times you can just walk your king over. You can go king to f8, g8, then tuck it up here on h7. It's not what I did. I didn't want to get my king stuck and him try to break the center open. This pawn, I looked at the pawns up here. This pawn right here has 2 defenders. This pawn has 1 defender. It's got 1 attacker, so I went after that pawn. Forcing him to make a concession, and he did. And the thing about this is a common theme in the Hippo. I can always, once I do that, I can bring here. Then if he trades off, we just trade a couple pieces, which is not what he did. Now with this, I don't mind closing the center, but if I'm going to close the center, I would bring the bishop back to c7 for an attack. In this situation, I went ahead and took the knight out, then I closed the center. And taking the knight out just gets one of the defenders away from the king side, because our intent is to attack on the king side of the board. All right, so I took the knight out. He took back the bishop. I played my move. Okay, and now the f5 push comes into play because you've got, you got the bishop on e3 that's kind of in it's in its own way. Okay, at this point, let's see, bishop takes f3. All right, I'm looking at the valuation bar. Valuation bar is calling for a5. What I did was I pushed f5, and the computer says white is winning. The computer gives e takes f, g takes f, bishop to h5, king to f8. This is all that played out, and for them to push f4. And let me see how far down the rabbit hole we went with this line. There's the move. He goes. All right, we're following computer line so far. Computer says f4. He played f4. Computer says e. Well, computer says that's a mistake. That queen to e2 just protects it. Well, I'm going to definitely have to study this position. All right, let's go back a moment and before I pushed f4, the computer was calling for a5. I'm sorry, not a5. The computer's calling for a5 just to take space over here on the queen side. I did not do that. I went for an attack, and apparently it is an unsound attack. All right, go G, F8, he pushes. We went down this route. Like I said, the computer likes bishop to G6. I also likes queen to E2, protecting it. and then e4. All right, so he just retreats. He just retreats, but he's still got the advantage. I mean, computer says plus 2.58 for white. Computer just likes his white's position. Okay, I pushed, and the bishop move. That's where white started going wrong by trading pieces out. Okay, and I played this move first because I didn't want the knight to jump in here and then this pawn. I just wanted to eliminate that play right off the bat. Actually, when I look at what the computer says, it says just go ahead and take. I mean, it's dead even. Okay, so I played that. I played a6 to keep the knight out, and he traded. I wanted to trade anyway, so I'm good with that. Okay, and I was thinking if he brings the queen here, my whole plan was to tuck in here anyway, so that didn't faze me any. Okay, and he is pushing on the queen side. All right, so I was wanting to get a rook over on the G file, and the whole purpose is his king. I'm lined up on his king. If I can break it open over there, I can win the game. And he continues to push. He continues to push on the queen side. I honestly didn't think he had enough time for a queen side attack, but I also didn't want to give him anything extra. At this point, it's black has the advantage. Takes back. Now my knight's got a better location. It's guarding this square. It's protecting my bishop. And then I've still got the king move over, and I've got the attack. Okay. I don't think my opponent saw the danger. He just continued with this queen side attack, and my position just gets a little better. I play h7. At this point, the evaluation screen is a -2 for black. Black is in some, it's -2 in favor of black. White's in some trouble here. Okay. And he played his king over to try to alleviate it. Now we'll find out. Computer says rook to g3. Got the top 4 evaluation bars on there. None of them say to take the pawn on g2. So was that a mistake? Oh, he goes king to h1. Actually, I never even got my play in. He abandoned the game. Okay. So he actually abandoned the game before he ever saw that play. Well, let's see what the computer says with taking. And game evaluation. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. It's not giving me a game evaluation. Okay. I take. That would have been move 20, 25. Well, let's go back and see what I've got going on here. Why my analysis stopped on me. Okay, let's. Oh my gracious. That's interesting. Apparently, it said I'm the one that abandoned the game. Okay, it somehow I lost my internet connection right there. Here I thought I won and I didn't win. That's purely okay, that was my move. Computer says king takes g2, rook to g8. Oh, you're blocking. I missed the fact that you can block. F takes. Rook takes b7. Knight takes b7. Okay. It wasn't the best move to take that pawn, but black's still winning if they keep their internet connection. Well, with that said, I'm going to get off here and let's hope that I can keep the internet connection up when I play my next game. But for right now, goodbye.